World governments are embracing artificial technology, artificial intelligence, AI, big time, despite concerns over where it could lead. Artificial intelligence, for better or worse, is here to stay. Many governments are increasingly approaching artificial intelligence with an almost religious zeal. By 2018, at least 22 countries around the world and also in the European Union (EU) launched grand national strategies for making AI part of their businesses, their business development, while many more had announced ethical frameworks for how it should be allowed to develop. The EU documents more than 290 AI policy initiatives in individual EU member states between 2016 and 2020, and the latest is Ireland, which has just announced its national AI strategy, saying AI here for good. It aims to become an international leader in using AI to benefit, they say, our economy and society through a people-centered, ethical approach to its development, adoption, and use, they said. This is to be obtained via 8 policy commandments, including increased trust in and understanding of AI by using an AI ambassador, quote unquote. They're going to use an AI ambassador, a veritable AI high priest to spread the message around the country. Another aspect is to promote AI adoption by Irish businesses and the government within a special moral and ethical framework. There are several shortcomings in this strategy, which it shares with similar efforts by other countries, leaving aside more obviously bad AI strategies, such as that underlying China's surveillance state. What about the recent video about the robot that was playing chess with a 7-year-old boy, and it didn't like the fact that the robot didn't like the fact that the little boy was playing chess. He was moving his pieces so fast that he locked his robotic fingers onto the boy's finger to the point where he fractured the boy's finger. And the technicians figured that it was because the robot didn't like the fact that the boy was playing and moving his pieces so fast. Can you imagine? Do they have some kind of an ego trip or an inferiority topic? I mean, this is, we're talking about the morals and the ethics of AI. Now, what happens if they go bad, right? Now, the hype is tripe. Such strategies, they say, uncritically share the hype and hysteria surrounding AI. A typical example would be the chief executive of Google's owner Alphabet, Sundar Pichai, claiming in 2016 that AI is one of the most important things humanity is working on. It's more profound than, I do know, electricity or fire, he said. He would say this as his company's business model critically depends on AI and on people trusting the technology. Ireland's strategy goes precisely along with such hype by repeating the claim that AI could double Irish economic growth by the year 2035. It doesn't detail whose growth, though, or how it's going to grow. The strategy lauds various useful existing AI-based apps, which, for instance, improve cycling infrastructure in Dublin, provide Irish language tools, save energy, and comfort dementia sufferers, but it's hard to see how more of these could double economic growth. Most notably, AI is central to a few digital platforms such as Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and Alibaba, GAFA for short. They enjoy winner takes most benefits due to the fact that current AI requires large amounts of data. As more people use your platform, the profitability of the data grows exponentially. This has given a huge first mover advantage to those companies that got it right, turning them into monopolists and gatekeepers. Digital firms disrupt existing businesses and outcompete them every time. A good example being how Google, basically an online search engine, disrupted the advertisement-driven business models of newspapers, or how Apple is selling more watches than the centuries-old Swiss watch industry. These platforms also depress the startup of new firms, for instance by buying up all potential new competitors, and this stifles innovation. And increasingly, entrepreneurs have to compete on these platforms. For example, Amazon Marketplace. They can be at the mercy of abuses such as fake product reviews by competitors. rulings on such issues by the gatekeepers that are unpredictable and opaque, and sudden algorithm changes that can affect their business by making them, for example, less visible to potential customers. Then there is the phenomenon of digital subsistence entrepreneurs, online sellers who barely earn a living wage. This radically different anti-competition landscape, sometimes labeled platform capitalism, quote unquote, has caused regulators and antitrust authorities substantial headaches. The EU recently adopted proposals for Digital Markets Act, DMA, and a Digital Services Act, DSA, which try to rein in the actual and potential abuses on large AI-based digital platforms. If AI and automation had been a force to reckon with, we would have seen skyrocketing labor productivity growth and rising unemployment. Instead, we see stagnating productivity growth. For example, the UK is the lowest in 200 years, and some of the lowest unemployment rates in Western economies in decades. Ireland's AI strategy ignores the above problems with platform capitalism. The name Google appears only once in the entire document, and Amazon and Facebook not at all. There is no reference to digital platforms, platform capitalism, the DMA, the DSA, or the EU's many antitrust actions against Google. The omission is like Hamlet without the prince. Ireland's AI strategy should have specified how and when AI will achieve the economic benefits it mentions, and who will reap them. It also should have offered a vision of how to make sure that the nation does not suffer from the GAFAs or become a mere agent of them. Firms don't use it. The strategy also assumes that a lack of trust in AI is due to people not understanding the technology well enough. So voila, teaching people data science and having an AI ambassador like a modern day prophet is the answer. One may expect precisely the opposite outcome. The better people understand AI, the less they will trust it. This would actually be desirable, of course. In the US, where understanding AI is fairly advanced, adoption rates of AI are in fact meager. A recent US Census Bureau survey of more than 800,000 US firms found that only 2.9% were using machine learning as recently as 2018. A 2020 survey of the European Commission also pointed to very low adoption levels. And many other surveys confirm the low adoption rate of AI. Firms do not adopt it, not because they don't trust it, but because it makes little business sense. It's too expensive, usually with paltry returns, and comes with an exorbitant environmental price tag, and all that before you factor in the domination of the incumbents. Ireland's AI here for good, like many similar national strategies, seems to believe in miracles. For instance, that various circles can be squared. These include enabling access to large volumes of relevant data for all firms while protecting everyone's privacy and turning the country into a powerhouse for training sizable deep learning models and massive data centers while cutting CO2 emissions. It admits no trade-offs. The implied message is that Ireland can pluck wonderful fruits from a thicket of thorns just so long as it trusts in AI and adheres to its particular ethical commandments. Transhumanists, GAFAA, and other winners take all in the digital economy will approve wholeheartedly. And this was from The Conversation by Professor of Economics Wynne Nod, University of College Cork, under Creative Commons license on Unexplained Mysteries. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.